It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible, the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible, the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Avoca. We've got a state-rated doozy coming your way tonight on the KMA video stream in Class 1A District 8. Trevor Mader alongside Jan Harris here tonight. Underwood taking on AHSTW. We've got Cole Willard on the camera here tonight. Jan, these are two teams. Don't be fooled by the 2-1 record. They are two of the top teams in Class 1A. They're opening district play against each other tonight. This is a big, big, big game when you look at the big picture.
It really is, Trevor. You can't emphasize the importance of this game, but we have to keep it in perspective of, you know, it's early in the season, but it's both of them have been tested. They've both played, each of them have played one really good team. The athletes that we're going to be able to witness on the field on both sides of the ball tonight, it's going to be a collection of some studs.
So Underwood is 2-1 on the year. They are ranked number 3 in the KMA state rankings put together by yours truly in Class 1A. They're also the KMA Land A1A 2A number 1 team under the guidance of head coach Nate McKelson. They played a really, really, really good Van Meter team, really close. Probably you could say should have won that game. They lose in week 1. They then able to hold off a good Kemper Catholic team in week 2. They roll past St. Albert last week. On the other side, AHSTW under head coach Gigi Harris. They are the KMA State 1A number 8 ranked team. They're number 4 in the KMA Land A 1A 2A power rankings. They open the year with 2 dominant wins over Tri-Center and Riverside. but a little bit of kind of a gut check last week and an overtime loss to Kemper Catholic.
Yeah, that was a well-played football game. After the ball game, I had a chance to visit with some of the Kemper sideline chain gang and stuff, and they said probably one of the better football games they've seen with the hard play on every down, and it came down. Kemper put it in overtime, and AHST got stopped at the half-yard line. But it was, I say, Kemper won the game. AHSTW didn't lose it.
Yeah, and when I talked to Coach E.G. Harris this week, he mentioned, hey, this was a good opportunity for us to learn before going into district play, where you're going to play, obviously, Underwood tonight, Trainer next week, Missouri Valley, Red Oak, Shenandoah, the rest of the way. And as you alluded to, Jan, there is no shortage of athletes on the field, whether it's Camden Sukup, who has fit into the quarterback role really nicely at AHSTW, Luke Sternberg, Nick Denning on their side. Then you go to the Underwood side. You've got Garrett Ludd at quarterback, and he's got no shortage of weapons with the likes of Mason Boopy, Jack Van Fossen, Maddox Nelson, and Graham Jensen.
Oh, you just pick your weapon. I was on the drive up here today, this evening, I was thinking, boy, if you're going to use a military term, they have an arsenal of weapons at their disposal. And besides that, they're just a bunch of good kids. Being only 20 miles, 25 miles apart, these kids compete in everything against one another, and they're just a fine group of young men. And, this is what high school football is all about. You're going to put some plays out in the field, and, the men are going to rise up tonight, and it's too bad that someone's not going to be on the top end of it, but that's what we play the game for 60 minutes.
Should be a fun one here tonight. Also in 1A District 8, Red Oak is at Trainer. That one intrigues me tonight. And then Shenandoah is hosting Missouri Valley for homecoming there in Shenandoah. It looks like HSTW has won the toss. They've chose to defer, so Underwood's going to get the football. And as we've alluded to, you've got athletes all over the field. Sometimes you see a game like that and you think, okay, high-scoring shootout, 38-35, something like that. Also, these two teams play some really good defense. It could come down to a big defensive stand or a turnover or special teams play.
You're exactly right, Trevor. There's going to be a lot of questions answered tonight on what can we do from this aspect and what do we need to work on. As it's a litmus test for both teams. The firepower, you don't want to get in a shootout scoring match with Underwood. The more that AHSTW can possess the ball, minimize the big play, the longer they can stay in the game, you build some confidence. But you can't let Underwood get out on a roll, because if they do that, they can roll pretty fast downhill.
So it'll be interesting to watch here tonight. We mentioned Camden Sukup has taken over the quarterback role this year for AHSTW. They had a really good quarterback last year in Kyle Sternberg, who was a little bit of a dual threat. Camden, as a junior, has stepped in and really filled that role nicely.
He followed a tremendous young man. Kyle Sternberg was an elite quarterback and elite athlete, but he was a tremendous leader. And his body build, we went AHSTW had to do some alterations because it's not college ball. You don't recruit. You go from a 6'5" quarterback who can see the field and rocket it, and you go into a 5'9", 5'10", 150-pounder that can run. But Cameron, I think, has surprised some people with the way he's been able to throw the ball this year. He's very accurate, and his IQ with football, him and Luke Sternberg's IQ is off the charts.
Going to be fun. AHSTW kicking off. They will do so with Caden Baxter. And it looks like Underwood back to return. We'll have Maddox Nelson. And it looks like Mason Boopy. That's on the far side from us. If you're watching at home, Underwood donning the white jerseys, blue numbers. AHSTW with the blue jerseys and the white numbers with red trim.
I think, Trevor, there's going to be something tonight. Both teams have some distinct special team return men. So field possessions is going to play a big part in here, because this third phase of the game, the special teams could be very important and dictate a lot of this game tonight.
Both teams do have some remnants of a kicking game as well. Here's a kind of squib kick. It'll be fielded by Underwood at the 35 up to the 38-yard line before being brought down. On the return was Charlie Myers, a freshman running back. And Underwood going to start with a nice spot of the field at the 39-yard line.
Yes, they are, and I think that just shows the respect that AHSTW has for the deep men, especially Mason Boothby. It's better 38's the 38-yard line, but it's a lot better on their own 40 or something.
So they'll start on the 39-yard line. Garrett Lutt, Iowa baseball commit, is the quarterback for Underwood. Shotgun look. He will give Maddox Nelson. Nelson gets about a yard on first down.
Yep, right off tackle. I think typical Underwood coaching staff in sync. I think they're examining right now what alignment they're doing and who's playing where for AHSTW and their defense.
It'll be 2nd and 9 coming out for Underwood from their own 40. He'll flank everybody out. Nelson in the slot on the right side. 3 receivers left. Now he'll put Nelson in motion right to left in a wing spot on the left side. Empty backfield for Lutt. He's rolling left, keeping his eyes downfield. Has a man open just shy of the sticks on the far side. Coming up with that one is Easton Robertson.
Yep.
It'll be a 3rd and short.
Nice little out route. Boy, that was a good dig over there on the out route. And, Lutt put it right. He's either going to catch it or was going to go out of bounds. And here they're going, hurry up.
Going up tempo, so a gain of 7, 3rd and short coming up for Underwood near midfield of their own 47. They give Nelson first down, ball to the ground, and HSTW's on it at midfield. Coming up with that one looks to be, I believe that Parker Heller came up with it. Logan Heller, rather, comes up with it. And a big turnover for Underwood on their opening drive.
Yes, it was. That was a tremendous strip of the ball. Nelson was trying to fight for extra yards, and it was just one of those clean strips. And I know that is one of the drills that the defense works on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So Logan Heller comes up with the fumble recovery, and AHSTW will take over right at midfield. Camden Sukup has Luke Sternberg in the backfield with him. He's got a wing on the left side as well. And they will give Sternberg. Sternberg trying to get to the outside. Breaks out of one tackle. Breaks out of another tackle. Couldn't quite get past Max Tarts. But a nice gain for Sternberg on first down. And, Jan, that's going to be a big thing for HSTW is positive plays on first down to set up 2nd, 3rd, and short.
You're exactly right, Trevor. And that was definitely off there. But something I noticed a little different here, they were able to get the play side guard out and block down instead of the offside guard pulling. So that's an adjustment that took place since last Friday night at Kemper.
2nd and 4 from the 44 for HSTW. A little bit of a high snap. Sukup rolling right. Pocket moving right with him. He goes to the right side. It's caught by the tight end, Gavin Newcomb. There is a flag down to the 36-yard line and an eagle down as well at the 38-yard line.
The way it looks for me, if I was trying to keep my eye on the ball and like this, I think it's probably going to be a blindside hit on Avoca. Personal foul, I'm guessing.
Exactly going to be that's exactly what it's going to be, so it'll back it up and wipe out the big play. And we've got an eagle down now on the field, and as he's tended to, let's step aside and take a quick break here on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood. When you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa. 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Welcome back to Avoca here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. And after the penalty, AHSTW going to be back to their own 49-yard line. Jan, another point that we talked about turnovers, special teams, and hold this side as Camden Sukup goes empty backfield shotgun. He wants to throw, and the pass too tall, intended for Caden Baxter. Will bring up 3rd down. Another key is going to be back-breaking penalties, and that could have been one there for HSTW.
That's right. That's one of the things that wasn't talked about a whole lot, but an underlying factor. Last week, the AHSTW was penalized 9 times for 105 yards, and that's way, way, way too many. And I know Coach Harris and the staff was a little miffed about all that, but here it is, 3rd down.
A pistol look, it looks like. We'll go a little option. Sukup keeps it, cuts up the middle of the field, and will get spun down to the 48-yard line.
Boy.
Big Max Tarks in there.
He came off that block and made one heck of a tackle. Trevor, you're exactly right. Pre-game, you were talking about penalties and special teams. Well, AHSTW got the first break. Underwood got the second, so it's balls at the 48, isn't punting.
Yeah, punt for HSTW, 9:40 to go here in the first quarter. Mason Boothby is the return man for Underwood. Looks like Logan Heller, the punter for HSTW. That punt nearly blocked. And then Boothby fields it in traffic. He'll get it at the 26-yard line, and that'll be where Underwood begins their next drive. So the turnover doesn't haunt Underwood in terms of AHSTW capitalizing on it.
Right. I was always holding my breath on that one as AHSTW last week. First time they punt the ball went over the quarterback's punter's head, and that set up Kemper's first touchdown from about the 15-yard line. So at least we got hopefully over that hump tonight.
Here's Garrett Lutt in the shotgun, running back to his left. Now he'll flank Nelson out. Now Nelson goes in motion. They go a little pop pass to Nelson. Nelson nicely contained by HSTW. Get a couple yards on that, Will Maddox Nelson, but second and about 8 coming up for the Eagles.
Yep, that was Matt Nelson, and I tell you what, Kyler Sandbody did a very nice job stringing that play out and only giving up those 4 yards.
Underwood going up tempo on 2nd and 7 from the 30. Early stages of the first quarter. They give Nelson again. Nowhere to go for him. He is gobbled up.
Blake Akers.
He's had a nice season defensively.
He didn't play one down of defense last year hardly at all. He played special teams, and the kid has blossomed in and made himself a football player.
Third and 8 coming up for Underwood from the 29-yard line. Movement might be on HSTW. Oh, it's going to be on Underwood, actually, on the left side. That's at least what the official signaled at first, and it is false start on Underwood, and that 3rd and 8 is going to become 3rd and 13 for the Eagles from their own 24-yard line. No score early on in this one here on the KMA video stream. 8:49 to go in the first quarter.
Here's a chess match between the coaching staffs here because Underwood's going to come out with something. They're going to empty backfield.
Lutt wanted to take a shot, goes right side Boothby, left side rather Boothby near the boundary, and they're going to say he hauled it in. Mason Boothby's got really, really good speed, state medalist in track, really good center fielder in baseball as well.
And guess what, Trevor? His favorite sport is?
Football, right?
Basketball.
Really? I would not have known that. I mean,
yep. He's a good basketball player, but that's what he loves.
So a gain of 20 sets up the first down. Now Lutt again, pocket collapsing. He gets spun down. Gavin Newcomb gets the sack.
Nice to see him kind of come out of his shell a little bit there. He's been a young man that's bought his time, and there's another track qualifier in the high hurdles.
Yes. So it'll be a 2nd and 18 coming up for Underwood from the 36-yard line. Lutt will put Van Fossen in on the line on the left side of your screen if you're watching at home. Back to pass. He's got Nelson in pass protection. Lutt goes over the middle of the field dangerously into triple coverage to Easton Robertson. It's incomplete.
I tell you what, Trevor, having my sons both played quarterback, and I'm in awe of how Lutt sits in there and the ball that he fires. Not only is it accurate, it is such a tight spiral.
I think I had the chance to walk the field before the game and throws a very, very nice spiral, especially for a sophomore. By the way, his best sport, baseball. He'll play at the University of Iowa in the future.
Yes,
third down for Lutt. He wants to uncork one over the middle of the field. Boopy! It's just outstretched, and it's incomplete. Could have been a home run play, but instead it's 4th down.
Tell you what, that was a nice ball, just overthrown by maybe 2 yards, but good coverage by Nick Denning there coming up from his safety position. Definitely that young man has watched some film during the week because he came from the opposite side on the safety position to pick up Boothby.
4th and 18 for Underwood. They will punt away with Mason Boothby. So Boothby will punt. And that punt towards the Underwood sideline will stay away from Luke Sternberg, who's been explosive on special teams this year with 2 kick return touchdowns. And we'll see where they spot it. It did not look like a great punt, and they're going to spot it at the AHSTW 41. Now, Jan, you obviously know AHSTW head coach Gigi Harris as good as anybody. Without giving too much away, what was kind of the plan of attack against this athletic Underwood defense this week?
The plan of attack was to try to keep the game and ball possession. Don't get in and shoot out with Underwood. Try to manage the clock, manage the ball, and take advantage when you get. And getting your first 2 possessions from the 40-yard line and 50-yard line, you better make some hay happen here at some point.
They will give Sternberg, he can't quite break out of a tackle. Max Tarks again in there to initiate contact. Nick McKenzie cleans it up, and Max Tarks having a nice game defensively so far.
Yes, he is. He is, if you remember, he was a mainstay in that playoff run last year. He just uses his hands so well down in the up front.
Yes, he's on the starting offensive line as well. His dad, John, former Tri-Center head coach, former KMA sports reporter, now back on the coaching sidelines, coaching the offensive lineman at Underwood. Here's a 2nd and 11 for AHSTW, 7:15 and rolling here in the first quarter. No score. Vikings on their second drive. Sukup takes the snap. Pressure coming off the edge over the middle of the field. Incomplete for Newcomb. And it's actually tipped and caught by Nick Denning. On the deflection, that looked like it was going to fall flat. Denning gets it off about 2 deflections, and it's a first down.
That's concentration right there. The ball was tipped by 2 people. Nick Denning comes up with that, and Nick Denning, that doesn't surprise me. That's the type of young man he is. What a play.
Gain of 17 for AHSTW, and they're in Underwood territory at the 43. A little bit of high snap, ball's on the ground. I think Sternberg got back on it. He did, but we lost a 5. And the thing on that too, Jan, is I think they had Caden Baxter wide open for an easy completion and conversion. But, hey, it all counts the same.
You're exactly right. They had Caden open. I think Camden Sukup didn't have a chance to look at him well enough because that same play, Camden Sukup has hit Caden Baxter 3 times for 3 TDs this year with that exact same play.
Sukup in a shotgun. Will toss Sternberg. Sternberg trying to get to the right side, cuts back middle field, breaks out of 1 tackle at the line of scrimmage, then gets upended at the 41-yard line. So they get some of what they lost on the fumble back and then some. It'll be a gain of 6 on 3rd down. And now, Jan, again, you know the coach as good as anybody. What are you drawing up here on 3rd down?
Well, right now, you're in this type of game. If you get any positive yardage inside the 40, it's got to be a 4-down territory.
I was going to say, you're probably more so attacking this like you've got 2 plays to get 7 yards.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that's how they're addressing it. They're coming with the blitz.
And Sukup keeps it, have the defense full, gets a block, spins out of a chance now tackle, but flag comes in from the far side. Going to be close to a first down. It looks like from the initial spot.
If I'm going out on the limb and they're going to call holding on this play, and that's going to be terrible in my opinion because it came from the opposite side of the field on the other side of the hash. So we'll see what it is, but threw it in the vicinity of offensive holding.
Yeah, it came from the right side of the field, and actually, no, it's going to be a face mask on Underwood.
I'll eat my words, and thank you for that, Trevor.
So give Sukup the gain of 9 and the first down, plus they'll get the yardage tacked on at the end of that run due to the penalty. So we got 10 yards, and they'll add 15 for the penalty. And AHSTW's to the Underwood at 16-yard line with a fresh set of downs. Midway through the first quarter, 5:27 to go. Now the officials will converse over something. I can't tell you what because I'm not in that conversation, but they will converse, and now we'll get ready for this first down. So 1st and 10 from the 16. Sukup empty backfield and put a man in motion left to right at Sternberg. They give to Sternberg on the jet sweep, trying to go right side. Breaks out of an ankle tackle, cuts out of another tackle. Will get close to the 10, looks like about the 13. They're doing a really good job, Jan, of covering a lot of ground on the outside, not letting Luke Sternberg get to the outside.
They're really doing a good job, and that was very nice run by Luke Sternberg. Most athletes, that's not even a gain, and he got 6 out of it just by sheer trying to go downhill and lead with the shoulder.
So it'll be a 2nd and about 7 coming up for AHSTW from the 13-yard line. 2nd and 5 is what they'll call it from the 13. Sukup with Sternberg back there with him on his left hip. He's got Denning flanked out on the right side.
Coming with the blitz up the middle.
Read option. Sukup throws it to Baxter, who catches it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, HSTW. The Vikings strike first on a nice drive, capped by a touchdown pass from Camden Sukup to Caden Baxter.
That was a very, very good play. And that's one player on AHSTW's team, Caden Baxter. He's as quiet and reserved. You see him in the hallways. He's just the nicest kid. Put a football helmet on him or put him on the wrestling mat, and he's a beast and just smiles.
And now Baxter will come on and kick the PAT. Baxter's kick is up, and he didn't get it. 6-zip our score here on the KMA video stream. AHSTW on top. AHSTW strikes first on the 13-yard touchdown pass from Camden Sukup to Caden Baxter. And Jan, a nice response by the Vikings to capitalize on the good field position and the Underwood penalty and to cap it off with the first score of the night. Yes,
it was. You have to capitalize on those, but I think that's one a play that you definitely ran Luke Sternberg, in motion away, and he's going to draw a crowd, and well-designed play. I will have to say that is the first time I've seen that play this year.
So now Caden Baxter, who caught the touchdown, then missed the extra point, will now do the kicking honors. And this time it'll be a line drive kick that was overshot by Robertson. He will field it back at the 2-yard line. A flag comes in. Robertson is pinned back inside the 5. Ball came out as well. We'll see if they rule him down. They're going to say ground caused the fumble as AHSTW hopped on it. Gatlin Getler got on it, but I think they're going to say he was down, and now we'll see what the penalty is.
It's going to be interesting. I didn't see anything, but I don't know what happens. Are they picking?
It's a holding on Underwood.
Holding on Underwood. Half the distance to the 5, you're at the 2.5.
So now Underwood from the shadow of their own end zone will have it to the 3-yard line. 4:34 to go in the first, down 6-0. Here in the first quarter, and Lutt will snap it from the end zone. Nelson on his right hip.
Getting an audible in from the sidelines. Getting an audible. They read the defense. Still got 14 seconds left on the play clock.
And they will run it. Nelson, little crease, goes left side. Still going and gets positive game. Maddox Nelson is so slippery.
I tell you what, heck of a run.
Not the biggest runner by any means. Not even the fastest. I think it's safe to say. I don't think that's offending anybody by saying that, but he's very physical. If you've ever watched him wrestle, you can kind of see that. State medalist last year.
He's downhill.
He turns into a 2nd and 5 for Underwood from the 8th. They'll put a man in motion. They give Nelson the crease. Nelson has the first down, got tripped up from behind. He was about to bust that, and then that is Gavin Newcomb who trips him up from behind, but a first down for Underwood on the run by Maddox Nelson.
Pickup of 7?
About 8, I think they're going to say, on that 16-yard line.
Yep.
Fresh set of downs for Underwood. 1st and 10. Lutt again will look over to the sideline, get some signals from the Underwood coaching staff. Running back on his right hip. High snap, screen,
slip screen.
Breaks out of a tackle, and he's got open field. Boothby to the 40. Denning chasing him will wrap him up out of bounds at the 50. But a nice play by Underwood and a big gain.
That was a beautiful pass, set up well. Quarterback gets how many yards on that? That was
give him 34.
34. And he threw the ball about 3 yards line of scrimmage. That's what happens when you get Boothby.
There's a run. Nelson somehow turns what was probably about to be a no-yard gain into 4 or 5.
Yep. They've found a combination right now. You can't play Boothby up tight because of his speed. But then if you lay off, you see what he just did there. That's just, you take your chances.
Lutt takes a shot left side, and he gets Josh Ravlin into the game. It's pick your poison regarding this Underwood offense.
Yep, Josh Ravlin. Finally, the third of the 3 to Ravlin boys. My God, I didn't think we would ever run out of those boys over there.
You had Nick and then Alex and then Josh now coming through. Gain of 20. Makes it a 1st and 10 from the AHSTW 26-yard line. Give Nelson, and Nelson again, positive gain on first down. Might have got another first down.
I think he got another first down.
We'll see where the official spot is. 2:49 to go in the first. We've got an injured Viking down. I don't want to speculate. So we'll take a break here on the KMA video stream.
That is...
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood. When you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa. 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Gavin Newcomb, the injured Viking who's being tended to by the AHSTW training staff, he is able to come off the field under his own powers. So good sign to see. Now Underwood in business. They've got the ball second. They're going to call it 1 from the 16-yard line. Underwood started this drive on their own 3 after troubles on the kick and then a penalty to boot put them back in the shadow of their own end zone. Now they'll go pistol. Lutt will give Nelson. Nelson gets tripped up near the line of scrimmage. I don't know that he got the first down.
I tell you what, that's what you have to hit him low because he runs with a low center of gravity and his shoulders forward. You can't tackle him up top. Looks like he got it.
They are going to give him the first down. He needed 1. He got 1. Fresh set of downs for Underwood from the 16-yard line. Now we've got a whistle and a timeout taken by HSTW. We'll take one with them back in 30 seconds here on the KMA video stream.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
.219 to go in the first quarter. 6-0 HSTW leading Underwood here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Maynard, Jan Harris with you here tonight. Cole Willard running the camera for us on our video stream. And Underwood will come out of the timeout and face a fresh set of downs from the HSTW 16. They've already gone 80-plus yards on this drive. Trying to cap it off. They start on their own 3. They'll put a man in motion left to right. It's Robertson. A little bit of a high snap. They give Nelson. Nelson has the first down and more. Breaks out of a tackle, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Underwood. A 97-yard drive to answer, and the Eagles have tied it.
Heck of a blocking up front on that right side. Michelson, Nate, is a tremendous play designer. Spread it out and basically said, my guy's going to get off the tackle's butt, and break.
Underwood goes 97 yards on 8 plays. Had the big pass on the screen from Garrett Lutt to Mason Boothby. And then Maddox Nelson punches it in from 16 out.
And that was one heck of a run. Maddox Nelson made it look pretty easy. He came off, broke off the line of scrimmage, and his football instincts kicked in, and he just angled straight for that end zone. And very well designed play. And we'll see if they're going to kick deep. I'm guessing most teams haven't, but I don't think Nate Michelson and staff are going to want to give HSTW field position. I think they're going to kick it deep and dare them to go.
So Gus Bayshore will kick it away. Sternberg fields at the 1, so it'll be in play for Luke Sternberg, and he breaks out of a tackle for a moment, then gets spun down at about the 18-yard line, and that'll be where AHSTW begins their next drive.
You know, that's the difference in, I think, teams and the emphasis various teams place on special teams. Obviously, they spend a lot of time on kicking deep. We haven't seen that for a couple weeks due to Sternberg being back there, but I think Coach Mikhailson has a group of young men on that special teams that they probably don't get a lot of offense or defensive playing time, so they go to the wall for him on special teams.
HSTW will start their own 18-yard line. 2:06 to go here in the first. Sukup rolling left. Wanted to take a shot. Now he'll scramble right and improvise. Camden Sukup tucks it and runs. Has the first down. He's going to get a face mask as well. That was a very uncomfortable-looking face mask tacked onto the end of that.
Sorry about that, Trevor.
It made me hurt.
When I saw his neck spin around like that, just kind of got me from the sideline position. I'm sorry about that.
That made me hurt a lot. So it'll be a gain of probably about 13. Somewhere there's a Nebraska fan that has flashbacks to a similar play against Kansas State that went uncalled as well, believe it or not.
Yep. Face mask was turned completely sideways on Eric Crouch.
So we'll see where they end up spotting it after the penalty. And they're going to wave it off. So it looked like now we're on the opposite side of the field, of course. It looked like they got the helmet, but they wave it off. It is a gain, though, for Sukup and company, a gain of 11 to the 29. They'll put Sternberg in motion. They fake to Sternberg. Sukup keeps it, goes left side. Still going to the 40, brought down from behind by Graham Jensen, but a nice gain. And we're seeing early on, Jan, HSTW doing a really good job of when they're not getting Luke Sternberg the ball, they're using him as a decoy.
Yeah, they are, and right now that's basically what you really have to do, and you just hope that you can continue to do what you're doing. They're running the ball, and it just seems to me like the boys on both sides of the line of scrimmage is going toe-to-toe, and that's where the action's taking place, in the trenches.
So a gain of 12, first down for HSTW. Sukup with a pocket, scrambling left, kept his eyes downfield. Now just have to tuck and run, gets maybe a yard or two before Jack Van Fossen gobbles him up. So not really any gain there.
If you want to talk about an all-around athlete that I don't care if it's checkers, he's going to compete. Jack Van Fossen is a fine, fine young man, and he's a true leader for Underwood in every sport.
You know, we talked about Garrett Lutz's best sport, baseball, Mason Boothby's basketball. I really don't know what Jack Van Fossen's is, and he might not know either.
He's dadgum good at everything he does.
Yeah. HSW puts Sternberg in motion left to right. Sukup rolling right. Steps into a throw over the middle of the field. It's caught. Nick Denning breaks out of a tackle, has the first down. Another first down for HSTW in Underwood territory. The Underwood 46. My Velisca math tells me that's a gain of 13. Get Nick Denning involved in the passing game.
Tell you what, that was nice to see Nick get involved there a little bit. Come to the end of the first quarter, Trev.
So we've played one. It's been a fun one so far. 7-6. Underwood leading HSTW on the KMA video stream.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible. the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
Headed to the second quarter here in Avoca, and the first play of the second quarter is an incomplete pass down the sideline from Camden Sukup to Luke Sternberg.
That usually doesn't happen, Trevor. That was a well-placed ball. You don't see that happen. You just got to regroup and say, got to come back to him because he's going to do it for you. Just keep your face, keep it in there, Luke. Coverage was there, just a decent played ball. Those are one of the things that you replay between 10 o'clock tonight and 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Second and 10 coming up now for AHSTW. They'll go fullback dive with Baxter, who gets about a yard to the 45-yard line. And again, we'll see if this is a situation if you're Gigi Harris where, is it 2 plays to get 9 yards?
It's going to be interesting because, you're down 1, but 45, if you go into you can't change your philosophy once you go into the game. You can't second guess yourself what you put on the pedestal.
Sukup wants to throw pressure off the edge, takes a shot downfield. It's incomplete. Want to go to Denning. There was coverage draped all over him. Also, he had another receiver in the area that was Zeb Hall, but it's incomplete, and the punting team will come on for HSTW as the promising drive stalls out. And the Vikings will punt it away with Logan Heller. Other scores tonight, 1A District 8. Red Oak is up on Trainer early on, 6-0. Also, Shenandoah, Missouri Valley. It's a 7-6 Shenandoah lead in the first quarter.
You really got to have good kickoff coverage here. Punt coverage, excuse me.
It's a nice booming punt, not so much deep as it was high. It'll take a HSTW roll, though, and get down to the 16-yard line by Blake Akers. So Underwood, who went 97 yards on their last drive, will now take over on their own 16, early stages of the first quarter. If you're just tuning in, Underwood's first drive ended on a fumble at midfield. HSTW couldn't do anything with it. They then get a stop, and they ultimately score on a touchdown pass run from Camden Sukup to Caden Baxter. Underwood goes 97 yards and counters with a touchdown run from Maddox Nelson. Now the Eagles will go at it again, 1st and 10, and they give Nelson with a hole. Nelson into the secondary, and he's breaks off a shoulder tackle and gets to about the 25. Nice gain. Again, for someone his size, you wouldn't think, north-south runner, right? But the way he's able to get low to the ground and move, very north and south.
Yeah, he really does. He gets his low center of gravity, and I think, his footwork is very, wrestling helps him in that footwork stuff. I tell you what, he has maneuverability in his lower body.
2nd and 1. Lutt wants to throw on 2nd down. Pocket collapsing. Denning in pursuit. He spins him down for a big loss. A flag comes in late. A little extracurriculars away from the ball. We'll see who it's on. Max Tarks and I think Blake Akers were going at it. And that might be on HS. And that's a backbreaker. I mean, that was a good 20 yards away, but you could tell from the peripheral those two were going at it.
Where it was at, if that's the penalty, that's just a lack of discipline. That, when the play's back there, you live the fight another day and say, hey, I'll get you next time. But emotions are running high tonight on both teams.
Yeah, the state-rated game, district game, these two teams separated by about 20 minutes. And it is going to be a personal foul on HSTW that'll negate what would have been a big sack that would have set up 3rd and very, very long.
Instead of it being 3rd with the ball on the 7-yard line,
it would have been
it is 1st down with the ball on the 40-yard line. We got another penalty.
It would have been like 3rd and 19. This might just be a sideline warning on HSTW. It's Coach Gigi Harris getting an explanation from one of the officials. So we'll see if this is actually a penalty or if it's just a warning. Now the other official on the HSTW sideline will come out and converse.
The official that threw the flag was not the one in the conversation. big turn of events here.
Yeah, you go from having it on like the 7-yard line, potentially in a third and very long, to now first down. And I think it was just no, it is a unsportsmanlike conduct on AHSTW. It's going to give Underwood another 15 free yards. So Underwood's been able to move the ball
55.
into AHSTW
That's
territory.
a 52-yard field possession change. From their own 3 to the opponent's 45, and we have 1st and 10 for Underwood.
So Underwood with a fresh set of downs into AHSTW territory. Blood in a shotgun, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. They will give Nelson a nice run on first down to the 38-yard line. Another flag comes in. More extracurriculars late. And this one might be on Underwood.
No, same guy throwing the flag 3 times. It's going to be on Avoca.
Tarks and somebody were going at it. And let's see what the call is. Now, if this were the NFL level, and it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on Underwood, so it will be a 15-yard penalty. I was going to say if this was the NFL, 2 unsportsmanlike conducts on the same player would warrant an ejection, but that's a moot point because it's not on AHSTW.
Correct. Yes, that difference between the NFL and the high school, except for the spearing or targeting, that's still the same. Trevor, I don't think you could pay me $100 to be a sideline official on either side. Underwood are here tonight because the 2 coaching staffs are made up of alpha dogs, if you want to call them that. You got to have deaf ears.
Well, give Nelson. Nelson doesn't get much, if anything, back to the line of scrimmage. Are you saying Gigi Harris can be convincing on the sideline?
Yeah, and here's a funny little tidbit on the side note. Coach Harris's oldest son and Coach McHaleson's second son play on a traveling basketball team together. So we spend a lot of time in the summer on weekends at tournaments together, so it's pretty interesting.
A whistle, that's going to, I think, be legal movement on Underwood. That'll back them up 5. Or did they get a timeout? They got a timeout. I don't know. Yeah, it is a timeout taken by Underwood to save the delay of game. So, Jan, we're seeing, and we touched on a moment ago, emotions running kind of high on both sides. We mentioned this is a rivalry game, I think you can call it. Both teams 20 miles down the road. And you look at how well these 2 teams are playing, what the implications of this is going to be. You're playing against another really good team. It's a lot to handle in this game.
This is over my 50th year of football, and I still get revved up and nervous. Think about a 16, 17, 18-year-old young man with 800 to 900 people watching you playing an arch rival. I mean, their blood's running thick and firm, ready to play. And, there's no off downs in games like this.
Not at all. So it's going to be 2nd and 19 for Underwood from their own 46-yard line. So the first down is at the AHSTW 35 for the Eagles. They'll go shotgun.
Going to be trips to the right.
I think another movement. Yeah, they were not set. That's going to back them up 5 more. And that 2nd and 19 is going to become 2nd and 24. Still early stages of the second quarter. 7-6 Underwood on top.
In the last 2.5 minutes of the game, Trevor, we've ran 3 plays and had 6 penalties.
And 3 unsportsmanlike conducts.
4 penalties, excuse me.
And then the timeout to save a penalty.
Yep.
There's a shotgun look. They'll put Rablet in motion left to right. Lutt wants to throw. Pressure coming off the edge, though. Steps up, takes a shot to Boothby, who does a good job coming back to it. Don't get a lot of it back. They will spot that at about the 38-yard line. Now it's a 3rd and manageable coming up for the
21-yard game
offense. 21 is what I'm going to call it.
Yep. Boothby again. Yep, you got to
Underwood will go up tempo, it looks like, or at least that's originally what they wanted to do. Trips left. Nelson on the left hip of Lutt in the shotgun. They give Nelson. He, I don't think, got the first down. Seth Pope did a good job wrapping up.
It's going to be about 4th and
about one and a half. And I don't think there's much thought on what you're doing.
No, that decision was made before the game. They're going for it on 4th down.
So 4th and 1 from the AHSTW 37-yard line here, early second quarter. Underwood puts a man in motion. Quick pass, Lutt. It's caught by Van Fossen on the far side. He has the first down. He spun out of bounds near the 30.
Heck of a well-designed play. They know they have a distinct, Underwood knows they have, the coaching staff knows they have a distinct advantage with 6'4" Jack Van Fossen on, 6-foot cornerback. Nice little pitch and catch. Timing was perfect between Lutt and Van Fossen on that play.
To the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 for Underwood into AHSTW territory. They'll go pistol look. Lutt gives to Nelson. Nelson had a steam, has the first down, breaks out of a tackle, still going, tripped up just shy of the goal line. No, touchdown Underwood.
Very, very nice play. Trevor, that's a perfect example of the old-timers saying, run the ball north and south. He didn't deviate from north or south. He just put his head down, broke 4 tackles. First contact was after about a 2-yard gain, so he had 28 yards after contact.
Maddox Nelson slithers his way to a 30-yard touchdown run. The Eagles now lead 13-6. Gus Bayshore, the left-footed kicker. Don't see a lot of those, I feel like.
I kicked left-footed in my day, Trevor.
And that one is up and good. 14-6. Underwood leading here on the KMA video stream, KMAland.com.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa. 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Underwood goes 84 yards, capped by a 30-yard tackle-breaking touchdown from Maddox Nelson, makes it 14-6. 9:04 to go here in the first half, and now Underwood will kick it away.
That was pure will on Maddox Nelson's part because he broke tackles, lack of tackling on HST's part. You can't arm tackle a running back like that, and just a football player making a good play and not going to be denied what he wanted.
Now Bayshore to kick, Sternberg back to return. And early stages of the second quarter, 9:04 to go in the half. And they will kick it to Sternberg, who fields it at the 1, they say. Sternberg breaks out a 1 tackle and then gets tripped up at about the 18-yard line. That'll be where HSTW begins their next drive. Jan, we've seen them. I mean, HSTW is winning the field position game. I think that's safe to say. They got to capitalize on that, though.
Yeah. Just looking at things, Underwood has 3 plays of over 25 yards. AHST doesn't have any yet. They've got time of possession, but Underwood has had the play breakers.
First down for AHSTW from the 18-yard line. Sukup gives to Sternberg. Sternberg, nice run off first down, trying to keep the legs moving, has the first down, and then gets tackled by Maddox Nelson and company. Josh Ravlin also on the stop. We'll give him 13 on the run by Luke Sternberg. Sternberg, junior running back, 315 yards, 6 touchdowns coming into tonight on the year.
That was a very good hole opening, and Luke was able to shift the gear a little bit and make some yards after contact. That's the Luke Sternberg that people are liking to see, and it's between the tackles on that play.
Shotgun for Sukup. He'll roll left. Steps into a throw downfield. Baxter hauls it in at the 40. Bayshore will chase him out of bounds. But a big gain for AHSTW in Underwood territory.
Beautiful ball. I think that's one thing that outside of this area in the team, everybody was questioning, would Camden Sukup be able to throw the ball? Well, I think he's proven it in this, the fourth game, and the games before. That was a beautiful ball, and once again, his Johnny on the spot, Caden Baxter.
Yeah, he's looked really good so far in many different ways for AHSTW. 1st and 10 into Underwood territory at the 40. They give Sukup. He gets maybe a yard or so out of that. The one thing that stood out to me on that, Jan, was how Sukup, he had Max Tarks bearing down on him, just able to step into it and not be fazed by that at all.
Yeah, and he knew he was going to take a hit, but, you know, that's some good, what I call steeliness. Knowing you're going to get hit, but still have the wherewithal to be able to plant that back foot and know you're going to get busted in the chops.
2nd and long 9, short 10 coming up for HSTW. The Underwood 39-yard line. Sukup wants to pass. Again, takes a shot over the middle of the field. Dangerously lobbed. Is picked off by Mason Boothby. His 3rd pick of the year. He'll be spun down to the 15, and that's going to be one that HSTW offensively wants back.
You know, one thing that's definitely different in that type of play, this is just showing the coaching along with the athleticism of Underwood of their break on the ball. That play has scored touchdowns for HST multiple times this year, and Underwood was just able to put their athleticism, and it's scouting.
Mason Boothby had, I believe, 9 picks last year. That is now his 3rd of the year, and Underwood will take over. Here's a run by Maddox Nelson on 1st down. Will move the chains, the gain of 10.
If we aren't too careful here, they're just going to keep running him in the lull and the sleep and hit a big one. Heck, right now, Maddox Nelson is on his way to close to 100 yards in first half.
I've got him 15 for 99.
Yep.
So far. So 1st down for Underwood from the 25-yard line, and a timeout taken on the field. We'll take one with them. 14-6 here on the KMA video stream. Welcome back to Avoca here on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Jan Harris with you. 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. 14-6 Underwood leading, and the Eagles trying to drive after the Mason Boothby interception stopped a promising AHSTW drive. Nice pump fake. Has Boothby down the middle, down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Nice fake by Lutt. You maybe don't see that a lot from a sophomore quarterback, but just misled his receiver a little bit.
He's one of those guys that I say the field knows no age. It only knows talent. And that was a well-thrown ball, just out of reach, but dodged a bullet for the Vikings.
2nd and 10, and they give Nelson. Nelson will go over 100 yards. He's still going as Caden Baxter tried to rip the ball free. Be a gain of about 6 on 2nd down. Will make it 3rd and short. And you go back, I think Maddox Nelson was his first touch of the game. He fumbled. And since then, he's been efficient.
He's come back on fire. He sure has.
So we'll give him about 7 on that 3rd. And long 3, short 4 coming up for Underwood at the 32. Lutt wants to throw. Quick pass caught. Boothby has the first down to the 38-yard line.
Very, very nice timing pattern. Boothby set his feet, he was still with his back to the ball when Garrett let the ball go on that timing route. That was just showed practice makes perfect.
Fresh set of downs for Underwood at the 38-yard line, their own 38-yard line. AHSTW showing pressure. They bring the pressure. Lutt just has to throw it sideline. Robertson came back to the ball but couldn't get it. They had blitzers all over the place, did AHSTW.
Trevor, he doesn't even have a foot on the ground. This is his arm strength. This is why he's going to play college baseball. He threw the ball with no feet on the sidearm over 25 yards.
But we're seeing now, Jan, not that it like ever wasn't a thing, but you think of all of the, a lot of the top level of like quarterbacks in the NFL game. How many of them had a baseball background? Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson among them.
Oh yeah, it's imperative, and they complement each other so well.
There's a give Nelson. He's got a hole. First down, breaks out of a tackle, and then gets to the AHSTW 47. Nice blocking by Underwood on that. I don't know that he was touched until he got about 8 yards downfield.
They blocked that. You're not faking. In the old stack I in the I formation, you would call that a trap play, but that wasn't a trap play. That was blocked as a trap play, but he did a pivot step in the backfield before he cut up to give the guards chance to pull.
Gain of 15. Underwood at AHSTW territory. Under 6 to go in the half. They give Nelson again. Breaks off a tackle in the backfield. Turns nothing into something with about a 3-yard gain. We'll make it 2nd and 7 from the 44. Underwood will go up tempo. They've had some long drives. They've got 97 and 84 on their first 2 scoring drives of the night. This one started at the 16 after the Boothby pick.
Yeah, they're doing it with, I call it efficient. They're running an efficient offense.
2 receivers to the left. They give Nelson again. Nelson again gets positive yardage, about a yard or 2 is what they'll give him. 3rd and manageable coming up for Underwood offensively. Call it 3rd and 5 from the 42.
This is where you got 2 downs to get 5 yards. This possession, you got the lead in the game. You got the momentum on your side, and you got a running back that's already topped 100 yards. You're in 4-down territory.
2 receivers on both sides. Nelson to the left hip of Lutt. Lutt wants to throw in the middle of the field. It's caught. Nice job threading the needle by Lutt to Ravwood, and there's like 5 or 6 Vikings that wrestle him down. That had to be in a precise spot to Josh Ravwood, and it was.
You talk about throwing through a window. That was throwing through a pane glass window, Trevor. Couldn't have been anywhere else.
Gain of 9 moves the chains on 3rd down to the HSTW 33-yard line. 4:05 to go in the first half. Underwood trying to strike again. Up 14-6. They hand off Nelson. Nelson breaks out of a tackle and then gets upended. Nice tackle, chopping the legs.
Kendom Sukup.
That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle from Sukup. Nice run by Nelson. Will give him 6 on first down. Makes it 2nd and 4. And Maddox Nelson already 132 yards on 20 carries.
Yeah, that's...
Lutt will throw. Has a man over the middle of the field. Almost got him. He took a shot. Oh! And they're going to call the flag. Caden Baxter made contact. That's... we'll see what whether it's targeting, but penalty coming on AHSTW. And it's going to be a personal foul on Caden Baxter. That's one of those, I understand the purpose of it, Jan, right? Like you want to take away hits like that, but also if you're Caden Baxter, I mean, what really can you do in that situation in terms of, you're playing it like that's going to be a catch.
Exactly. If you take that play out of the game, if you take that type of play out of football, you might as well put flags on.
Yeah. That's one of those, it wasn't helmet to helmet. I guess the argument would be from the officials that it was a launch, but that's going to be another back-breaking penalty for HSTW all the way to the 14-yard line. And now Underwood continuing to drive. Fresh set of downs for the Eagles.
HSTW is going to have to bow their neck here and do the best they can to make a stand here because Underwood is on a roll.
Lutt wants to throw. Left side, Van Fossen. Incomplete. And it'll be second down. He wanted to go to Van Fossen in the back of the end zone. 3:21 to go in the half.
That's a very good play call by Coach Mikhailson. You got a 6'4" receiver. Put it up where he only can catch it. And you don't want to say it's a waste down, but the way they've been moving the ball on first down, now you're 2nd and 10. You took a shot. You're still in very good territory because you got the ball inside the 15.
They give Nelson to the 10. He's holding the ball tight after putting it on the ground the first time, and he's a little slow to get up. Yeah, a gain of 5 is what they'll give it for Maddox Nelson. So 3rd and manageable. This is where Underwood's wanted to be all night.
Yeah, they're playing ahead of the sticks, Trevor. They're giving themselves manageable calls. They're not getting them in 3rd and longs. They're playing the chains.
3rd and 5 from the 9.
Audible came in from the sidelines. Check call.
Lutt keeps it, dumps it to Ravlin one-on-one, and Sukup does a good job staying honest with himself and getting the stop. And it's going to be 4th and short coming up for Underwood offensively. I'll hold the phone. A flag comes in. And we'll see which side this is on. I think it's safe to say this game's getting chippy.
If this is a personal foul or...
And it's a personal foul on AHSTW that is going to be an automatic first down. I believe it will be an automatic first down for Underwood, and it'll be half the distance to the goal as well.
I don't think that's going to be the last flag you see tonight, because if they don't get control of it, there's going to be a lot of extracurriculars in the second half.
1st and goal from the 3. They give Nelson. Nelson trying to break out of a tackle, gets stood up by the AHSTW defense. 2.5 to go in the half. And AHSTW trying to get a big stand defensively before the break. Now, they will get the ball to start the second half. Lutt will go out of the shotgun. Nelson to his right. They'll put a man in motion left to right. Now they'll go Robertson. Lutt keeps it, and dangerous pass over the middle of the field, low for Mason Boothby.
I'm not a betting man, but I think I have a pretty good idea who's going to get the ball on this play.
I would give it to Maddox Nelson. You're probably attacking this like you've got 2 plays to get 3 yards. So
yep.
3rd and goal from the 3 coming up for Underwood. 1:58 to go in the first half. 14-6 Eagles. They'll give Graham Jensen gets a touch, and Graham Jensen gets a touchdown. Underwood.
Lead blocker on that play, Maddox Nelson. 2-back offense. It's just like the old veer, but they came out of it from shotgun.
So Jensen scores his 2nd touchdown of the year from 3 out, and it's 20-6 Underwood as Gus Bayshore will come on for the PAT now. Long drive by Underwood after the Boothby interception results in a touchdown, and they're going to be a penalty on AHSTW. It looks like on the PAT. We'll move it 1.5 yards closer if they so wish. Which, in the NFL level, if this were the case, sometimes in the college level, the analytics would say you're better off to go for 2, but
yeah,
not going to happen here. Underwood will just kick the PAT with Bayshore.
He's a good kicker. He gets good elevation on his ball and gets it off quick.
Bayshore's kick is good. 21-6 Underwood here on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com. Graham Jensen on the 3-yard touchdown run, and Underwood's up 21-6. They've scored the last 21. They capitalized on the turnover on the interception by Mason Boothby, and Underwood's touchdown drives have been 97, 84, and 84 yards. They've already put up 256 yards of offense in the first half. They've been pretty balanced in doing so as well. Garrett Ludd has already thrown for 124 yards.
Very balanced attack.
There's a kick from Bayshore. Not a deep kick at all. They'll try to keep it away from Sternberg. Nice return for AHSTW to about the 28-yard line by Drew Lee.
Southmore Drew Lee right there. He's been playing some good football on the defensive side for AHSTW as well at a cornerback position.
Now, Jan, if you're AHSTW, not panic time yet. You've got just under 2 minutes to go. You have one timeout, and you get the ball to start the second half. So if you're Coach Gigi Harris, you're saying, hey, let's go down the field, let's get a score. And then all we need is another touchdown to start the half, and it's a brand new ball game.
Oh yeah, this isn't roll the dice time. This is where you just want to,
Denning makes a catch on first down, then lays the boom.
Well,
and there's an Eagle down, and is that Van Fossen? That is Van Fossen, who is slow to get up, and then there's a Viking that is a little slow to get up. Might just be from the bottom of the pile. Gain of about 6 on first down for HSTW.
That was a heck of a collision between Nick Denning and Jack Van Fossen. Two bona fide football players that pride themselves in hard contact.
There's Sternberg trying to go left side and gets the first down. So the clock will stop while the chains move. Gain of 6 for Sternberg. That clock should stop. And it has not stopped. Much to the dismay of the AHSTW crowd in attendance. It's continuing to run. They have burned a good
up on the first down.
Should. I know it no longer does in the college level. But then they started it quickly. So it's just to move the chains. So a gain of 6 for Sternberg. Gives him a fresh set of down. Sukup wants to throw. A little pump fake. Scrambling pocket collapsing over the middle of the field. Found his man. Newcomb with the first down. Still on his feet. Breaks out of a tackle inside the 40. Carrying defenders and brought down to the 37-yard line. Nice job by Camden Sukup to keep that play alive.
Trevor, even if you don't, this has been critical for the Vikings. They could have come back and went 3 and out pretty easily. So if there's no score put on, that's not a loss. Of course, AHSTW would like to put the ball in the end zone and get one of those touchdowns back. But they've put 3 consecutive plays together with first down, and that's going to be pivotal going in. You have some momentum, and like you said, they get the second half kickoff. I think you're going to see a little bit of a chess game go on here between the coaching staffs of where they're going to play their secondary and how HST is going to line up their weapons.
So now HSTW is out of timeouts. Game clock showing 24 seconds left in the half. 21-6 our score right now. HSTW struck first on the touchdown pass from Sukup to Baxter, and then it's been 21 in a row.
And as you said, Trevor, their 3 drives were ground eaters, big long-distance drives. They earned them.
Got to get a first down if you're HSTW because the clock will not stop if you don't. Sukup, gets tripped up for a loss. And they cannot stop the clock, so they're going to have to hurry up and spike it. Second down. Down to 12 seconds left in the half. Sukup will down it with 9 seconds to go.
That is a quarterback, gaining experience. He'll learn from that. 4th game he started at quarterback. You got to put the ball out of bounds. You can't take a sack with no timeouts left. You got to put the ball out of bounds or throw an incomplete pass. You can't eat it right there, but live and learn.
21-6 our score. HSTW's got 9 seconds left here in the half to try to get on the board. They will get the ball to start the second half. Sukup, quick pass. It's incomplete. Not the worst thing in the world. as he went low, trying to get a screen on the left side to Zeb Hall. And now it's 4th down for AHSTW with 8 seconds to go.
If you look at Underwood's defense out here, Trevor, they're playing what most common in the football vocabulary, playing an umbrella in the secondary. They've got Ravlin on the corner, and they have Mason Boothby 25 yards off the ball, and they're umbrellaing it with all edges and 3 men on the line of scrimmage.
Likely final play of the half. Sukup keeps it, trying to get the first down. Clock never started. He will get spun down. Now the clock will run, and we'll see when they stop it and if he got out of bounds. We're going to stop the clock with 1 second left. And now they're going to say that's the end of the half. So no harm, no foul on that. It's the nice run by Sukup down to about the 16 will end the half. Underwood has scored the last 21. They're up 21-6 as we go to the break here on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood. When you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa. 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood, when you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa, 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
To some, the sound of a bag of seed being opened marks a year of unpredictability and sleepless nights. But for those opening a bag of Pioneer brand corn, it brings a different set of feelings. To them, that sound marks innovation, knowing every seed has been proven in the toughest environment possible, the field. It marks the start of the best year you'll ever have. Pioneer brand corn hybrids, field proven and ready for yours. Visit pioneer.com/innovation.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today. It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
Brocker Wealth Management is comprised of local experts dedicated to your financial success. Their certified financial advisors include John Brocker, a native of Southwest Iowa and a proud graduate of Underwood, and Alec Murphy, an active Council Bluffs resident. They are dedicated to devising comprehensive financial strategies for you and your family. Whether you are investing to build wealth, Brocker Wealth Management personalizes a plan for your needs, wants, and long-term goals.
Dave Lyon Towing and Repair has been serving the Underwood area for over 40 years. They offer 24-hour light and heavy-duty towing and recovery, including a rotator, winch equipment, wreckers, and flatbeds to serve you. They're available for repair on cars and trucks Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located at 134th Street in Underwood. When you need a lift or repair work, call Dave Lyon Towing and Repair of Underwood, Iowa. 712-566-2317. Not the biggest, just the best.
Here we begin the second half here in Avoca. Trevor Mader, Jan Harris with you on the KMA video stream. 21-6 our score. Underwood on top. The Eagles put up the last 21 of the first half. AHSTW controlled things early on. They got an Underwood turnover. They scored on their second drive, and then it's been Underwood since then. But Jan Harris, a big opportunity here for AHSW. You're definitely not out of the woods. Getting the ball to start the second half, down 2 scores.
You're right, Trevor. You know, I was just talking to some of the former tremendous football players up here in the press box running the clock and stuff, the Crone boys. And, you know, this is, you know, you got to come back out and make something happen because we aren't at the urgent part, but you want to be able to break something.
Luke Sternberg returns to kick up to the 22-yard line. And one thing, Jan, that Underwood's kind of quietly done well tonight is they've contained Luke to 32 yards on 9 carries.
That, if you would have told me before the game that was going to happen, I would have said you're foolish because that's usually not what's happening. But they are definitely making him try to go wide, and the wider he goes laterally, the more pursuit angles you give the defense. And it's the guy that's stringing it out, it's not making the tackle. It's the guy coming in from behind on the angle.
Empty backfield, 4 receivers for HSTW. Sukup rolling left will throw. It's caught by Caden Baxter, who has the lone touchdown of the night for HSTW.
Yeah, I think that was the checkoff receiver. I don't think Camden Sukup had the time to get him, but he had Gavin Newsom pretty open down about 15 yards. But, you know, you can't see everything, and you just kind of hope you can pinpoint that open man, but see if we can hit the open guys.
Sukup keeps it. He's got a nice hole. He's got the first down. He'll get tripped up by Ravelin at the 38-yard line. Nice job on the read option by Gavin Sukup to pull it from Sternberg and keep it. It'll be a gain of 15. For Camden Sukup on the run.
If you could split that yardage, you can go half to Luke Sternberg and half to Cameron because 3 guys tackled Luke Sternberg on that play.
So Camden Sukup moves the chains. HSTW, the 39-yard line. A little bit of a high snap. They give Sternberg. Sternberg trying to get left side. Gets into the open field, tripped up from behind near midfield. And They got to get Luke Sternberg established early on in this half, I feel like, Jan.
You said it perfectly there, Trevor. That hopefully will give it a little momentum. And, you just can't shoot yourself in the foot here. You've got to keep the ball moving and get yourself in manageable second and third downs.
So fresh set of downs after the gain of 11 by Sternberg. They're right at midfield on the 50-yard line. They'll put Baxter in motion right to left. Sukup in the shotgun, running back to his right. Looks like a passing down. He will throw it out to Denning. Denning can't quite break out of the ankle tackle applied by Josh Ravel, but a positive gain on first down will make it 2nd and 5 for AHSTW from the 45. Gain of 5 into Underwood territory.
Nice throw, nice catch, and I tell you what, Josh Ravelin was one-on-one with him, and he doesn't make that tackle. We'll probably got about another 10 or 15 yards for HSTW, so that was a good play, win-win on both sides.
Sukup with a wing on each side. Nobody back there with them. Rolling left. Will dump it off. Caught. First down by Hall. Hall knocked out of bounds at the 33. Will be where they spot it. Zeb Hall gets in on the action. His second catch of the year.
Maybe this will loosen. Maybe HSTW will maybe loosen up the rush, and so many guys in the box here. They're hitting the open receivers and getting a few. I call them nickel and dime chunk plays.
They give to Sternberg. Sternberg gets about 4, so positive gain. And if you're Coach Nate McKelson of Underwood, hey, we're not going to probably bottle Luke Sternberg up all night. He's probably going to bust one at some point, but you got to like what you did in the first half.
Oh, you've got to be very complimentary of Underwood's defense of what they've done. They've bent a little, but after HSTW gets a first down or two, all of a sudden they go 3 downs and give up 4 yards. So, you got to, if you're HSTW, you got to capitalize on opportunities at this nature.
Second down, Sukup keeps rolling right. Will toss downfield, has a man open. It's incomplete to Denning. That would have been a surefire touchdown. Just missed him. Nice play design. Well
played, good roll. Camden is kicking himself in the fanny right now. He's a young man that doesn't usually show a lot of emotion, but when he went out of bounds and took the turf, the hand slapped the ground, he knew he missed that one.
We've got a injury timeout. Max Tark slow to get up on the Underwood side. 9:03 to go in the third quarter, and Tarks will be aided off the field by a member of the Underwood training staff and teammate Jack Van Fossen. Jan, taking a look at some of the other scores across the area tonight, particularly in 1A District 8. You've got Trainer up 27-6 on Red Oak. That was at the half last I saw. Shenandoah was up 20-6 on Missouri Valley. Also, scores of note, Glenwood has taken a lead on Denison Schleswig, 7-6. Van Meter all over Clarinda tonight, 35-6.
Boy, those are some there's outside of the close game, that's some surprises there. Yeah. But, the number of athletes that are in this area in this kind of window of 4 years it's been a long time since we've seen it that full.
Sukup will dump it off Baxter. Baxter trying to get to the first down.
I think he got it, Trevor.
I think he did. Fresh set of downs for HSTW on the pass to Caden Baxter. Gain of 7. Beautiful night for high school football. I would say significantly better than last time Jan Harris and I did a game together.
Oh, Trevor, that was probably, I've been going to football games since I was a week old, believe it or not, and the games that I can remember, that was probably one of the most brutal weather games I've ever been at.
Sukup will keep it, trying to get outside, gets to the 15, and will get chased out of bounds by Boothby. I feel comfortable saying that quarterfinal game with Linville Sully was the most miserable I've ever been calling a football game. I think I said 4 inches of rain fell during that day.
I say this tongue-in-cheek and very funny, but if there was anybody that looked like more than a drenched rat, I think the only one that looked more than a drenched rat than me was you that night.
It was not my idea of a good time.
No, it wasn't.
Gain of 8 for Sukup, more like 9 will make it second and short. HSTW knocking on the door of making this a one-score game. We've got a whistle and a timeout taken. with 8:49 to go in the third quarter. And Jan, if you're HSTW, you gotta like what you've been able to do on this drive so far, moving the ball.
Yeah, you definitely have to be positive, and you have to build on it because you're getting some chunk plays, and they've moved the ball from the 22-yard line down to, it looks like, about the 12.
Yeah, 12-yard line.
They went from 12 to 12, so, they put a good drive together. But in football, they always say the last 15 yards are the toughest yards because you're blocked into a 25-yard perimeter, and that minimizes the number of plays you can pull out of your bag. And so, it's just going to be a chess match where you're going to move your pieces as a coaching staff, and who's going to come up with a play on either side of the ball.
And the thing with HSTW tonight is they've had opportunities in Underwood territory and not been able to cash in. You go back to the turnover that resulted in a touchdown. They had another drive stall near midfield after an Underwood turnover. Now they're trying to punch it in and make it a one-score game. Second one from the 12. That was an Underwood timeout, by the way. Sternberg in motion. They give to Sternberg, trying to get him to the outside. Breaks out of a tackle. Lowers the shoulder. Looks like he's got the first down. Again, good contain, though, by Underwood and not turn that into like a 7 or 8 yard run.
Trevor, that's a wonderful observation because that defensive end, he strung that play out almost 20 yards to the sideline, kept his shoulder square, didn't make the tackle, but he didn't let Luke Sternberg get to the outside. He got the first down, and this is where it becomes crunch time.
First and goal from the 10 for HSTW. 8:27 to go in the third quarter, down 15. Baxter goes in motion right to left for the Vikings. They put him on the left wing spot. Give to Sternberg. Sternberg breaks out of one tackle, then gets stopped by Sam Shaning. It's a name we haven't heard much tonight. Very good secondary piece for Underwood. About
game.
4 for Sternberg, and obviously it's 4 down territory here. So you've got, if you're Coach Gigi Harris, you're tagging this, hey, I've got 3 plays to get 6 yards. I feel like we're going to see at least one more Luke Sternberg touch.
I think you're exactly right. You're going to see the ball. This is where, Luke did a nice job cutting that up, and he hasn't done that tonight. That was very pivotal.
Sukup, pump fake, scrambling left, wants to throw, then will cut back in the middle of the field, still on his feet, then spun down inside the 5. Nice job by Sukup. Camden Sukup turned nothing into something.
Tremendous play by Camden Sukup to make nothing out of something. We have 3rd and goal from the 4.
Could have very easily been like a 4 or 5 yard loss and made it 3rd and goal from, say, the 11 or 12, but instead you got very manageable 3rd and goal from the 4 yard line. HSTW has already taken 5 minutes off the clock in their first drive of the second half, trying to get this down to a 1-score game.
This is where I don't mind being up here with you, Trevor, and not with my coaching hat back on in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, because I made enough of my, was there a push?
Sternberg gets close to the goal line. They're going to mark him about a yard shy. And now you've got a 4th and goal coming up from long 1, short 2. Coming up for HSTW. Now, if this were Thursday Night Football last night, you would see probably the rugby scrum.
Yep.
The Philadelphia Eagles have patented, but as I've learned, that is not legal at the high school level to aid a runner like that.
Nope.
So we'll see where the Vikings dial up. 4th and goal from the 2. They got to punch it in to cut it down to a 1-score game. Shotgun look for Sukup with Sternberg back there. They will keep it. Sukup, pass, touchdown. HSTW to Gavin Newcomb. Beautiful play design by the Vikings. And they answered what they needed to.
That was a very well-designed play. I'm going to keep my dad hat on the counter here because that was sweet.
We're seeing a lot more, Jan, you think back 10, 15, 20 years ago, there's a lot of old ball coaches that would really shun out of 4th and goal from the 2 going out of shotgun, but the play design there opened everything up for HSTW. They got to get the 2 to make it a 1-possession game, as they will go for 2. Big points here for the Vikings if they can get them on the board. Sukup will go under center, not something they've done much tonight. And they will give to Sternberg. Sternberg didn't get it. Does not get in, about a yard shy. So the 2-point try unsuccessful, but HSTW does get on the board. 21-12 our score here on the Camden video screen.
It's time to be you at Iowa Western. Apply today.
(21-12), Underwood leading AHSTW. The Vikings did get back on the board just moments ago with the passing touchdown from Camden Sukup to Gavin Newcomb on 4th down. Didn't get the 2, so it remains at a 2-score game.
Well, if you're HSTW, even though you didn't get the 2-point conversion to make it a 1-score game, you solved and completed your first task coming out of halftime, was to be positive and try to get some points on the board. They did that. Now the defense is going to have to bow their neck, and you don't want to give it right back to Underwood.
Kick will go out of bounds near the 20-yard line. Van Meter's up 42-14 on Clarinda tonight in 2A district action.
I think that just shows you that the level that Van Meter's playing at compared to everybody else, because, they're just a level above other schools at this current time.
Back-to-back 1A state champions making the move up to 2A this year, as Underwood will start this drive on their own 35-yard line. Speaking of teams on another level, Harlan's up 35-6 on Sergeant Bluff Luton right now.
That is, I didn't know that, Trevor. I hadn't checked the scores. Thank you for saying that and letting the audience know. Sergeant Bluff Luton has 2 Division I recruits on their team. So, but it's Harlan.
Yes.
they just keep rolling them out like Ford and Chevy do.
Maddox Nelson with the 2-yard loss on 1st down will make it 2nd and 12 coming up for Underwood offensively. If you're HSTW, got to get off the field here. Underwood's last 3 drives have been touchdowns. Lutt wants to throw, pocket collapsing, scrambling right, kept his eyes downfield, dumps it off Robertson to about the 40, so that'll make it 3rd and 5 coming up for Underwood offensively.
He's so dangerous. He extended the play, and even in the NFL level, when you were giving the receivers a chance to get open 6-7 seconds, and the quarterback bought the time, and the receiver came back to the ball like they're taught to do.
3rd and 5 for Underwood, and they will split everybody out. 2 receivers on each side, empty backfield for Lutt. Over the middle, caught, 1st down, Van Fossen. He needed 5, and he got about 6.5. He'll move the chains.
That's just one heck of a play, and it's very, very, very difficult to stop that type of receiver with the size and the hands that he has and the placement of the ball. That's just a given play.
Lutt again, quick pass is caught by Ravlin. He had Luke Sternberg coming in like a heat-seeking missile, and Ravlin's still able to grab it into HSTW territory at the 49.
6-yard gain. They're going empty backfield again, Underwood is. Trevor going to put the ball on Lutt's hands and letting him
Lutt pump fakes, takes a shot right side. Nice defense for HSTW on the far side. Caden Baxter in coverage on Josh Ravlin. The pass goes incomplete.
Trevor, another tip my hat to Caden Baxter. He covered that from an outside jack linebacker position. That's a heck of a play by that young man.
So 3rd down coming up for Underwood. 3rd and about 5. They run Nelson, his first touch of the second half, and he gets swarmed down for a loss. Blake Akers among those in there, and it's 4th down coming up for Underwood.
That was a huge stop right there. Is this going to be Underwood's first punt attempt, or have they?
So they punted on the second drive of the game. They punted.
Yep. Yes, that slipped my mind. Overlooked that. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you very much. Yes.
So they will line up to punt, although it looks like Lutt, the quarterback, is the punter, so be wary of that. Now check that. It is Boothby that's the punter. And it'll take a roll. Nice punt by Boothby. We'll see where they spot it. But it's going to be inside the 10.
Inside the 10.
Another interesting score tonight in Glenwood. It's homecoming for the Rams. Denison Schleswig giving them a battle. They're up 14-7 as Denison Schleswig right now on Glenwood. I'll have Glenwood Lewis Central next week on the KMA video stream. Lewis Central, by the way, another state-rated battle for them. That's been old hat so far for the Titans through their first 4 games, and they're playing Bondurant Farrar tonight, and they're down 23-13.
Trevor, speaking of Denison Sledgewig, I know Coach Dave Weber's really well. Kids being the same age and stuff, and I said as soon as he put himself back on the sidelines, I said that's him just being there running the shows. 2 wins.
Yeah.
They automatically 2 wins for him just with his expertise and knowledge of the game on the sidelines.
So AHSTW will start this drive on their own 5. We're going to run 40 seconds off the clock. So they will let the clock run down and then reset. 3:45 to go in the third. Been an interesting night of football here in Avoca. In the state-rated battle, AHSTW number 8 in our KMA State 1A rankings. Underwood number 3.
Yeah, the state rankings, I think at this stage of the game, which you can't rank them by record like so many people want to do because of the number of the level of competition that some of the teams have been playing.
Luke Sternberg gets a couple yards on first down. Yeah, you know, HSW loses to a Kemper team that's going to be a playoff team in Class 2A, no doubt. You know, Underwood loses to a Van Meter team that we've seen how good they are throughout the year.
They're looking for a three-peat.
And doing it in a different class as well. It looks like, I mean, we're on the path to a Van Meter Central Lion George Little Rock title game, which would be all sorts of fun, but you got to get there first. Nonetheless, 2nd and 8 for HSTW from the 7. Sukup, quick pass, caught Sternberg. Sternberg will have the first down, and then Sam Shaning brings him down late, and that'll draw a flag, much to the excitement of the AHSTW crowd that probably feels a little slighted from some of the happenings in the first half.
Yeah, I think once the progress got started and when the third man came on and they went to the ground, that's a no-brainer. I think the bleachers would have emptied on the AHSTW side if the flag hadn't come out on that one.
And one thing there, Jan, that AHSTW did nicely, we haven't really seen, is getting Luke Sternberg involved in the passing game.
Yeah. They've moved him around. He's played 3 different positions tonight, and that's just knowing where to put it. But if you watch Underwood's defense, many times they have 2 guys in the middle flip-flopping. I don't want to call it a spy, but I'm going to keep my eye on you in perspective.
1st and 10 from the 32 for AHSTW. Under 3 to go in the third. Trying to cut this lead down. Sukup keeps it. Jensen in pursuit. Sukup will tuck it and run. Nice job breaking out of a tackle. Initially gets spun down from behind by Jensen, but a good job by Camden Sukup to shake off the would-be tackler for a positive gain. It'll be a gain of about 11.
Have to put a little check in here. Camden Sukup's got a little brother named Lucas, and he's in my grandson's grade, and he's about matching up size, but he runs just like him, and the kid is grease lightning at age 10.
Gain of 14 makes it 1st and 10 from the 45. For HSTW, they'll put Newcomb on the right side of the wing spots. Here's a give to Sternberg, and Max Tarks makes initial contact. Will drop him for a 1-yard loss.
He's just, the line, they're they can't get him broke out. I know that they were stringing it out, and so they tried to go up the middle. And, in that situation, one missed block, and it's a no gain, and one made block, it could be a 6 or 7 yard gain, or you could break it with Luke Sternberg.
2nd 11 for HSTW from the 44-yard line. Empty backfield for Sukup. He's got a wing on each side, 2 receivers to the right. They'll put a man in motion at Sternberg right to left. They fake with Sternberg. Sukup keeps it and has the first down. Oh, he stepped out of bounds just shy of the first down.
He sure tried to tiptoe along there, Trevor. He did the best he could, but I think his momentum and upper body was tilting the out of bounds. What do you got for down and distance here,
It's
Trevor?
going to be 3rd and, call it 3, from the Underwood 48-yard line. And this feels like, as we get down to the final minute and a half of the third quarter. Feels like 4-down territory for AHSTW.
100% correct, Trevor. 100% correct.
So Sukup takes the snap. Looks like a passing down. Pocket collapsing. Throws. It's intercepted. Boothby read it like a hawk, and he's got all sorts of running room. Mason Boothby's second pick of the night. It's a house call for Underwood. And that's a big swing as he takes that one to the house. And Mason Boothby just good.
That was a heck of a read, break on the ball. But when you go back and look at that play on film, Jack Van Fossen created the interception. He was on a blitz from the right side, uncovered. Sukup didn't get a chance to cover his feet to set him, which instead of a ball having some zip on it, it had no zap, and Boothby read it perfect. And boy, that's a sail wind denier right there.
27-12. He took the words out of my mouth. Good read by Boothby ball hawk that one and step in front of it and take it to the house. And now Gus Bayshore for the extra point. High snap, and it doesn't matter. He powers it through. 28-12 Underwood of the final minute of the third quarter of the KMA video stream. Together a promising drive. They were at midfield. You score there, all of a sudden it's at least a 3-point game. Now you're down 16 late in the third quarter.
Yeah, those are deflating plays, and now the first thing you've got to do is rally your offense and try to rebound here. You gotta flush that. You can't do anything about it. You just got to make sure that you don't dwell on it and go 3 and out and put the ball back in their hands.
It still is technically a 2-score game, too, at 16 points, although you really, in a way, need 4 scores. Kick will be in play at the 14-yard line. Lee will return it up to the 27 before getting popped.
Boy, who was that number?
That was Sam Holsing that makes the tackle.
That was an impressive tackle. Special teams solo on the spot, and there was no yards after contact on that play.
So AHSTW now with it on their own 26-yard line. Just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Camden Sukup will try to shake off that pick six and bring the play in from the sideline. Sukup will have Sternberg in the backfield with him. And Sukup play fake and gets brought down. Chased down by Graham Jensen for a sack. It'll be a 6-yard loss.
Yep. Graham Jensen came through, read the play well, came through the left side of the line, and Camden didn't have time to find an open receiver and took a sack. And so if you're Avoca here, AHSTW, you want to get out of this pickle that you're in, and Underwood's wanting to do everything they can to skin that pickle. Under a minute to go here in the third. Luke Sternberg gets a carry, and he gets brought down high, and a flag comes in from the far side. Sternberg got about 3 back. We'll see what the penalty is. The AHSTW crowd feeling like it's going to be a horse collar or a face mask of some sort. Under a minute to go in the quarter. And it's a face mask on Underwood. Will net 15 free yards for AHSTW. So now the Vikings will have the football. The 38-yard line. Again, not out of it yet by any means, but
I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, the sense of urgency probably has to be about an 8.5.
I would say at least an 8.5, Trevor. There's got to be some
You've got to score
urgent.
on this drive.
Yep. That's you hate to say that with the fourth quarter to go, but with the flow of the game and the way it's been handled.
Sukup kept it as they faked the jet sweep to Sternberg, and there are 3 Eagles that were there. Boothby, Van Fossen among them,
I think
along with Colin Van Tilburg.
Yep. I'm guessing they're going to take this into the fourth quarter here.
So a loss of 5 for HSTW on first down to the final moments of the third quarter. And HSTW not showing any urgency. There is about a 8-second difference between the play clock and the game clock, so they don't have to take a snap, and they won't. We'll go to the fourth, 28-12. Underwood leading HSTW here on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com. Headed to the fourth here in Avoca, 28-12. Underwood leading HSTW. HSTW does have a second down from their own 33 as we start the final frame. Sukup, play fake over the middle, has a man. Newcomb nicely tipped by Underwood defense.
Beautiful play. Beautiful dip ball by Gavin Nelson. Or
Maddox
Nelson, excuse me. Yep. Great defensive play there. Baxter was open. Nice ball by Cam. It was just a defensive play that a great athlete made, and it's 3rd and 15 now. He doesn't tip that ball. It's a 30-yard gain.
Yeah, that had big play capabilities written all over it, but instead it's 3rd and 15 for HSTW early in the fourth quarter.
Wish HSTW could have got the tip that Kemper got last week for a little bit of help. Kemper's second touchdown last week. 2 HSTW players tipped the ball, and it fell right in the hands of the Kemper guy for a 66-yard touchdown pass, and that was the difference in the ball game.
So Sukup hits Caden Baxter, and it's going to be 4th and 3, and I think they're going to bring the punting unit on for HSTW from the 45. So 4th and 3, down 16 near midfield, and HSTW going to punt. Now you got to be wary of a fake here if you're Underwood. So Logan Heller is the punter, and he will punt it away. It's a nice punt. It will be. I would say it might be too nice of a punt, but instead it'll be down to the 10-yard line.
I tell you what, I'll give Logan Heller credit. I know last year, 3 different times in the playoffs, he converted bad snaps or dropped balls, which would have been inside our 20, somehow would get the ball off and punted it, and 3 of the times he put it back on the other side of the field. So kudos to Heller right there.
Hunters are people too, no doubt. Here's a first down for Underwood from the 10-yard line. Garrett Lutt in the shotgun. Gives to Nelson. Nelson breaking free, and he slipped. It's a nice gain on first down of about 5 or 6. We'll see where they officially spot it. We'll give him 5. And my very unofficial stats has Maddox Nelson with 139 yards on 25 carries.
Yep, and he's been their steady Eddie. when they needed to have a play for chunk yards and between the tackles, he's manned up and got the job done.
Lutz pass caught by Ravlin. Ravlin bringing out a one tackle, gets brought down from behind by Blake Akers near 26. Two flags come in, one from the back judge, one from one of the side officials. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty is. And it could be two completely different things as well, given where they were on the field. So it's a face mask on AHSTW at the end of that. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll make it 1st and 10 from the 31 for Underwood early in the fourth quarter. Nelson again gets a carry, breaks out of a couple tackles, still going on his feet. Maddox Nelson bruising defenders to midfield, a gain of 19 for him. Man, he just runs so hard.
I tell you what, there's a lot of more, what do you want to say, name brand players that would have probably higher INL stuff on the money fourth in the pro college level. But I tell you what, Maddox Nelson is a football player through and through.
Lutt with the fake, then dumps it off Van Fossen. First down. He gets licked by a trio of Vikings. Newcomb among those in there, but a first down. A lot of Underwood's passing offense, Jan, is revolved around rollouts and timing plays.
Yep.
And they've done it to success.
They've done it with a high level of success and accuracy. But once again, just think what Underwood's quarterback, Garrett Lutt, is going to be like 2 years from now. That's scary.
Different set of skill players. This will give to Nelson. Nelson has a hole. Nelson still going inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Gain of 13 for Maddox Nelson.
I think you're going to see a steady diet of Maddox Nelson. They got the ball here. He's running well. They're going to keep the ball on the ground. I see Nelson again unless they go for an air raid here.
And they'll go a little pop to Robertson. Robertson gets a block from Nelson. Breaks out a one tackle, then gets licked from behind by Logan Heller after a gain of about 7. Nice gain on first down from Easton Robertson. You look at the total yardage, Jan. There's actually not that much of a difference. 340 total yards for Underwood as they'll go up-tempo. AHSTW with 320. Difference has been turnovers and penalties.
Yeah, I tell you what, halftime I was talking to Adam Crone, and he said it really in a pretty emphatic statement, and he simply said their third receiver at Underwood is most people's one receiver.
Lutt had a man wide open, Boothby, and just nice job by HSTW to get back on that late. Nick Denning in coverage, and it's incomplete. That looked like a surefire touchdown. You mentioned with Underwood offensively, it's pick your poison with Boothby, with Nelson. I mean, Graham Jensen would be the number one on a lot of teams.
Adam Crone said it perfectly. They're not just good. They have 3, most times, number one receivers on any other team. So that's pretty hard.
Nelson with a carry, stumbling and bumbling for a positive gain. Going to be shy of a first down, though, it looks like.
You left the third word off that stumbling and bumbling. I wish you could have added fumble on that one.
Held on to it, though. It's 4th and 1 coming up for Underwood offensively from the 14. Shootout tonight in Audubon as the Wheelers taking on a very good St. Edmund Fort Dodge team. That game was 38-28 at the half. Shotgun look for Underwood on 4th down. 8:40 to go in the regulation, up 28-12. They will give Graham Jensen. A flag comes in. Jensen's inside the 10, but we'll have to check the penalty.
Same exact play they scored on from the 2. The old veer with the shotgun, lead blocker up the middle.
And it's a holding on Underwood that'll wipe out the first down, and not only wipe out the first down, will make it 4th and long, and they're going to try a field goal, it looks like, with Gus Bayshore, who is 2 for 3 this year on those. Did hit a 31-yarder. That's his longest of the year. This, we'll see where they actually spot it at.
Don't kid yourself. Nate McHaleson, head coach at Underwood, is thinking future here, saying, okay, we're up 16 points. Let's give the kid a shot. So give him a little, even if he misses it, he's got a play rep for future in the season when big-time playoffs roll around.
41-yarder, Josh Ravlin will hold. Kick is up on the way. Got the distance. Does not have the accuracy, so it goes wide.
Had the distance. had the distance, just went right. I think that was a very good, Coach McHaleson, Coach Richards, those guys, they know what they're doing over there. They, that's something to say, hey, guys, he had the distance. Yeah. We'll work on it. I mean, that play will be reviewed and talked about and come back into play in week 7, 8, and the playoffs. They'll be able to revisit that because even though they didn't make it, he was able to try it. It wasn't blocked. It had the distance. They had 3 of the 4 important things.
And, of course, you get to like the A1, A2A level. If you have a reliable kicker come October, November, that is a bonus. AHSTW will now take over on the 20. Sukup keeps it, has the first down, breaks out of a tackle, still going, brought down at the 39-yard line. Big David Kilbardo foot tracks him down from behind. See if AHSTW has a little more sense of urgency here on this drive, knowing you're basically treating this like you need 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I tell you what, he got a gap, and, there was a very, very nice run. What I'm seeing is 2 teams playing very hard. Underwood is not letting up at all, and AHST's not putting their hand down in the dirt for nothing. They're playing, we're gonna give you a game till the last second of this clock.
Sukup wants to throw over the middle of the field, has Denning. Denning broke out a 1 tackle, then gets gang tackled just shy of the first down to the 48-yard line.
Trevor, I know this is very premature comment, but if this game is any indication, yes, Underwood's spectacular, but I'm not so sure. It depends on the next 4 games, but you might see this matchup down the road.
Safe to say both these teams will be in play for the 1A District 8 title. Trainer making some statements early on, though, as well. We'll put a man in motion, will AHSTW. They give to Sternberg, and that's kind of been the night he's had as he gets dropped for about a yard loss. Be 3rd and 3 coming up for AHSTW. From the 46-yard line, Luke Sternberg, 19 carries for 68 yards.
And, Trevor, 68 tough yards. None of those yards have been non-contact out of bounds. He's been, I would say probably 50 of the 68 are after contact or just sheer dragging.
Under 7 to go in this one. HSW trying to put together a comeback drive. Sukup back to pass. It was knocked down to the line of scrimmage. Big Colin Van Tilburg, I think, got a paw on it. And it's 4th down for HSTW. They punted in the situation last time. Looks like the offense is going to stay on the field here. Van Meter pulling away from Clarinda up 56-22 as we got time on the field. We'll keep it here, run through some scores. Glenwood is up 21-14 on Denison Schleswig. That's one we've been watching throughout the night. Meanwhile, in Class 1A District 8, Shenandoah on their way to a win. They're up 39-6 on Missouri Valley. Red Oak playing Trainer tonight. See if I can get another score up down there. I know it was 33-6 Trainer at one point. That has gone final. Trainer a victor 46-6.
Wow. Over
Red Oak. They get AHSTW back here next week. Ethan Hewitt and Keith Christensen will have that one for you. Should be a fun one. Also tonight, Lewis Central was down 23-13 to Bondurant Farrar at halftime, and that's still a 23-13 score. Fun one at Council Bluffs tonight. Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, 2 teams maybe feeling a little rejuvenated with the way they've started the year. They're playing a fun one right now. 27-21 AL on top of TJ late in the 3rd quarter. There at the Wick in Council Bluffs. There was one other. Riverside is up on IKM Manning right now. 37-25 into the 4th quarter.
Wow.
Very interesting Riverside.
I think probably the most, I wouldn't say surprising, but eye-opener to me is the Shenandoah game.
Yeah, they've got athletes. 4th down coming up for HSTW, and they'll be moving on the far side. You look at this district, Jan, and I think from an outlook, a lot of people, you got to play the games, but you would say AHSTW Underwood Trainer. A lot of things probably have to go wrong for those to not be 3 of the 4 that get in, but to me, what's going to be really interesting is how that 4th spot shakes out with Red Oak, Shenandoah. They play 2 weeks from now. Shenandoah's all over Missouri Valley tonight.
Yeah, it's At this stage of the game, I'm on the outside looking in, but this is the stage of the game that you want to get out of here right now without another score against you, and immediately, as soon as you get done meeting with your players, you got to become a cheerleader, a motivator.
Pass on fourth down is caught, but well short of the sticks. There was pressure applied by Underwood defensively, and they go to Gavin Newcomb, who's not going to get anything out of that. It's going to go back to Underwood. You mentioned, you got to turn around and just focus right to next week. AHSTW is going to get Trainer back here, a Trainer team. It's going to go in at 4-0.
Yeah.
Underwood's going to host a Shenandoah team that's looking like they're going to come in winning 2 in a row.
Yeah, the matchups, each week there's just a lot of competitive football, and,
Here's a run by Underwood on first down by guess who? Ball came out late on the run by Nelson, and he is down. He'll get up. Might have just more of a dejection than anything.
Yeah, I think he's mad at himself for putting that ball on the ground, but that young man, I'll take him on my team any day because he's not the biggest and he's not the fastest, but if you want to label a football player, put the picture beside Maddox Nelson.
1st and 10 for Underwood from the 25. Here's Graham Jensen with a touch. Jensen inside the 20, inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. And Maddox Nelson, by the way, a lot of these small schools, they rely heavily on multi-sport athletes. Maddox Nelson, he's going to be, I think, in store for a really, really good wrestling season.
Oh, I agree with you, Trevor. Watched him last year a couple times on the mat, and he's, if you're from Underwood and you're a wrestler, you got to be pretty tough.
Jensen doesn't get anything on that run on first down from the 5. Under 6 minutes to go in this one. We'll give him 1 yard. Underwood offensively tonight. Let's see what my tally says. How about 378 yards of offense, 211 on the ground, 167 through the air.
Talk about balance.
And that's something Coach Mickelson talked about. Is Lutt took the snap from a knee, so he's down where he takes the snap. It'll be a loss of yards for Underwood. So 3rd and goal from the 8 coming up for Underwood offensively. Story of this game, big plays and turnovers.
Yep. You just that pick 6 by Boothby, but big time players make plays like that, and
under 5
anybody
to go.
that wants to get to know Mason Boothby out of the athletic realm, as great an athlete and multi-sport star he is, he's an even better young man.
Rolling left is Lutt. Lutt looking downfield, sidearm pass to nobody, incomplete. The turning points in this game, you think first drive, Underwood puts the ball on the carpet near midfield. HSTW can't score. HSTW puts together a promising drive. Underwood gets a pick. They go 84 yards down the field. Then you get the pick 6 after AHSTW gets a rare stop as well. It's a game of inches and a game of mistakes, and HSTW just a bit more of those tonight.
You're exactly right, Trevor. Tonight, the team that has made more plays, they've made plays when they've had to.
So Bayshore will come on for a 25-yard field goal on 4th down. And that kick is no good. Missed that one. Missed that one wide right. So HSTW will get the ball back. You've still got, I guess, a tiny sliver of hope, but you got a steep hill to climb and not a lot of time to do it in.
Your mental preparation right now is, yes, let's go after it, but then the second part is, in the back of your mind, and I don't care who you are, if you're Nick Saban or anybody like that, Kirby Smart, you're saying down here 2 touchdowns, unless we hit a big one after a first down, let's chew this thing up and build some positive because, we want to end on a positive note if you're HSTW.
They will start on their own 20. Sukup play fake, dumps it off, caught by Baxter, brought out of bounds by Shaning at the 27-yard line. So a gain of 7 for AHSTW will make it second and short coming up. Camden Sukup's done some nice things from the quarterback spot tonight, just those 2 turnovers and a missed throw early on, too, that I know he's going to want back.
I really like what you said, Trevor, about, the offensive yards put up by each team does not indicate the distance that on the scoreboard that Underwood has put between themselves and AHSTW, because they've done a very nice job of making things happen when they needed to happen, and they're a very opportunistic team.
Yes.
They take advantage of if there's a break that they can take advantage of or a chink in the armor of the opponent, they're going right at it.
Sternberg, no gain on 3rd down. This is going to be a game that Luke Sternberg's going to want back. Not that he's really done anything wrong. It's just credit to the Underwood defense and how they've drawn up a plan to stymie him tonight. And, every coach feels like they got a good game plan right against a skilled player, but until you put it to use, you never know. There's a 3rd down for HSTW. Sukup will have to run. He's got the 1st down, spins out a tackle, then gets walloped at the 36. I think Sam Shaning was there to apply the hit.
Sorry, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Please don't get mad at me for saying this, but if that was helmet-to-helmet contact down in the end zone on a pass receiver, that was helmet-to-helmet contact right there. But I'm up here looking down and probably got too much of advantage or skin in the game, so I'll just zip it on that one, Trev.
Gain of 9 for Sukup does move the chains. 3 to go in this one. Sukup will keep it. And again, Sam Shaning with the tackle. Gain of about 4 for HSTW. So a gain of 4 will bring it to 2nd and 7. Meanwhile, Glenwood pulling away from Denison Schleswig tonight. They're up 28-14 in the 4th quarter. Shenandoah had another touchdown to their lead over Missouri Valley. Down to 2:25 to go in this one.
You don't want
They break the huddle with 3 left on the play clock, and they will have to burn a timeout.
You picked that one up. Very observant there, Trevor. Kudos to you, my man. I wasn't paying attention to the clock.
I'm occasionally observant.
I tell you what, you got 2 eyes in the front and 2 eyes on the side on that one, man.
I'm not always the most observant, but I try. Tri-Center's up 22-0 on Westwood.
That doesn't surprise me. Tri-Center.
They're always a team, it feels like, and maybe, you probably see them a little more than I do and stuff. Maybe they don't only start the year the best, but by the end of the year, they're a team that is usually a tough out in the Class A, Class 1A level.
Exactly. And Coach Schroeder, you can go back 15 years, and, they always have a running back.
Oh, yeah.
The horse that can carry the ball, not 20 times, not 25 times, but, the Weldon kid had 500 yards in one game 7 or 8 years ago. And, here we go. They just come up with someone every year, and this year they have the Coonsey kid.
Yep. They go Bruiser, then they go all-around playmaker. You mentioned Ben Wellman. They had Britton Barrier as well at one point.
Yeah.
Bryson Freeberg was, a wizard back there at times.
And last year,
Michael Turner.
Yeah, I might think offensive player of the year in KMA land last year.
2nd 7 for HSTW. Sukup rolling right. Throws over the middle of the field. It's caught. 1st down for HSTW as Newcomb gets the catch. He's had a nice night receiving.
That combination, they've had some nice combinations between Camden Sukup and Gavin Newcomb, and Camden Sukup and Caden Baxter. Those 2 are the leading receivers. This last 3 minutes of the game has been, I would like to say, a positive flip for HSTW. Yeah, they took it in the shorts tonight, but against a very, very, very good team. Some disarray going on. HSTW's had to take a timeout to get some personnel adjustments in here, and I think some guys are playing a couple different positions right now, but that's no excuses. There's some things that I know the statement that a lot of college and coaches like to use is clean things up. I'm not a big fan of that. I think there's some things that you got to be flat out honest with and say, we don't need to clean this up because it's messy, it's dirty. You really got to do some hard scrubbing, and that's what you got to do Monday through Thursday, and it starts. I know it'll start for about 8 coaches on the AHSTW sideline at about 11 o'clock tonight.
Final in Glenwood tonight, the Rams 28-14 winner, so a happy homecoming for Glenwood. Now they turn their attention to Lewis Central in a big matchup next week in 4A District 6. Under 2 minutes to go in this one. And they will give Newcomb not much there. Finally cuts up field, gets past the 50. Give him about a yard. And we've got an injured Eagle down. It's Max Tarks, who's been all over the place offensively and defensively tonight.
Yeah, I would like to say, and I think it's a pretty obvious statement, the winners of the line of scrimmage tonight are the team from Underwood.
Yes.
They've controlled the line of scrimmage, definitely on the offensive side of the ball. But I would like to say, they've made things. They've taken what HST is their first option, and they've handled it consistently for almost 4 quarters. And, that if you're a defensive coordinator, that's what you want to do. Make them beat us with their second, third, and fourth option because we're going to take the first one away from you. AHST on the flip side is going to have to say, okay, we still got to get that number 1 option, his area and carries and receptions, but 2, 3, and 4 are going to have to come 1A, 1B, 1C. And that's what that's what you got to do in practice. This time of the year, even though, we're halfway through the season, Trevor, it's kind of hard to believe, but, you got bungs and bruises, and you're not doing a lot of live contact on Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday's prep, Thursday's game prep, you got Tuesday and Wednesday, and, preseason, those are contact days, but, I tell you what, it's different in the game of football. Some of these guys on both sides of the field are going to go off, get home tonight, and have adrenaline flow and wake up in the morning, and you're going to have 2 dozen to 3 dozen kids know they played a football game tonight, and they're even going to know it more on Sunday. So, that's a quality that a coaching staff has to take into consideration of what can we do and how much can we do to have that racehorse and trainers ready to go come the next Friday night. And that comes down to coaching and preparation.
Trainer dominant tonight in a win over Red Oak, 46-6. Riverside up 37-32 on ICAM Manning. The Wolves did get a late touchdown to cut that down to a 5-point game right now. Back to play here in Avoca, down to the final 91 seconds of this one. HSTW will have it 2nd and 9 from the Underwood 49, down 28-12. Sukup in a pistol look. Will give to Newcomb. Newcomb gets a couple yards on 2nd down. And that'll be an interesting matchup next week when Trainer comes to town. And Trainer, they kind of run the gauntlet here. They get a Red Oak team that's very athletic. Didn't bother them much tonight, though, it looks like. Then they get HSTW next Friday night. And then what do they get the week after that? They got to host Underwood. We're going to find out a lot about this district over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you sure will. And HSTW went Kemper, Underwood, and Trainer. So I don't think you're going to question if anybody's battle-tested or not.
Newcomb gets a carry inside the 40, lowers the shoulder, then gets brought down by Sam Shaning at the 36-yard line. This game down to a final minute. HSTW is going to finish the game with more total yards than Underwood. Right now, that tally is at 390 to Underwood's 374, but the pick 6 by Boothby, his other pick, the difference tonight.
That's the game breaker there, but I always like to go back and holding.
Sukup rolling right, throws away, and there's a penalty down. It'll likely be in the area of holding. Maddox Nelson early on was just I mean, he was a bruiser.
Yeah.
132 yards in the first half.
If you got to pick someone that everybody, I would say that would be standout player of the game on both sides of the ball for what he brought to the team would be Maddox Nelson. His carrying the ball set a mentality for their entire team. And I say, as a coach, I would say he fed his teammates with his performance.
And so the unofficial tally on Nelson, assuming he doesn't get another touch, will be 29 carries for 188 yards and 2 scores. 30 seconds to go in this one. Time for a couple more plays for AHSTW. They give Newcomb, and he gets gobbled up in the backfield. Coming up with the tackle for Underwood was Riker Adair, sophomore linebacker. And that could be the final play of the game. There's about a 4-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. We'll see if AHSTW runs another play down to the final 15 seconds. Maddox Nelson efficient on the ground. Just a few too many miscues by AHSTW, and Underwood is going to win this state-ranked battle here tonight, 28-12. They open 1A District 8 action with a win. Jen Harris, your thoughts?
Tell you what, it was a heck of a ball game. But, Trevor, I think you made the perfect comment. Stats don't give any indication of the game. Opportunistic play by the Underwood Eagles, led by head coach Nate McHaleson. And I tell you what, though, I think McHaleson Nate will be the first one to let you know that players make good coaches.
Yes. And he's had some good ones come through.
And he's got some good ones coming through. But AHSTW has nothing to be ashamed of. They dug themselves some holes, but, there was some positive. But as I'll try to say something in a positive manner. Not tonight, but tomorrow morning to AHSTW's head coach. But I know what he's going to tell me, and it's simple as what his grandfather told him. The only stat that matters, son, is what does the scoreboard say? And that says Underwood 28, AHSTW 12.
So Underwood gets the win. They're 3-1 now, 1-0 in district play. They will turn their attention to Shenandoah next week. AHSTW drops to 2-2, 0-1 in district play. They'll host Trainer back here next Friday night. Full rundown from tonight's game will be available online later on at KMAland.com. You listen to high school football on the KMA video stream. For Jan Harris and KMA Sports, I'm Trevor Mader. Thanks for listening and have a great night.